Welcome to Uncle Nene's Nerdcast. It is a awesome show, an awesome episode. Season 3 of The Foundation is coming up. It's coming out next month, July. We're so excited. We love The Foundation. I want to recap season 1 and season 2 just to bring everybody up to speed. And then we're going to tell you everything we know about season 3 of The Foundation. So this show is going to be great. And first, let's go ahead and start off with the season 1 recap. It is 3 minutes, a recap of everything that happened in season 1. Take a look. I bet you're going to love being caught up with season 1 of The Foundation. And then we'll move on to season 2. And then we'll show the trailer for season 3. And I've got some juicy gossip about season 3 that I have scoured the internet for. So take a look. This is season 1 recap.
Someone's going to hang for this.
Foundation is the saga of Harry Seldon and his followers on their epic quest to save mankind. Harry is a mathematician who predicts a series of crises that will result in the end of humanity. Brother Day, Brother Dusk, and Brother Dawn, known as the Empire, rule the galaxy with an iron fist.
Our world will live on! Your worlds will not!
The Empire don't know they're headed for destruction. They feared Harry because he could forecast the future.
The Empire will fall. Interstellar wars will be endless. Nothing we do can prevent this. But we can shorten the dark ages that follow.
Harry enlists a gifted prodigy named Gale Dornick to help him build the Foundation, a standalone civilization that will preserve humanity amidst the crisis. For young Gale, the future now rests on her shoulders.
The coming generations will have something to build upon. A foundation.
Harry and his followers are exiled by the Empire and sent to distant planet Terminus to build the Foundation.
Terminus? I've never even heard of it.
Seasons are extreme. There'll be hardships.
Frozen rock, long nights, no trees for shelter.
Against all odds, the Foundation flourishes. But the Empire now fears it could soon become obsolete, and tensions between the two nations become explosive.
War with Empire is inevitable, because under the genetic dynasty, there is only one voice.
The Empire will stop at nothing to preserve its very existence. They'll destroy the Foundation and anyone who supports them. We meet Salvor Hardin.
Who are you?
Salva Hardin, Warden of Terminus.
Her mission is to protect the Foundation and to preserve Harry Seldon's plan of prosperity for this new generation. But the Empire remain intent on crushing the Foundation.
Sheldon!
Gale Dornick has been reaching out to me. I have to find her.
As the Foundation faces imminent attack, Gale's messages lead Salvor to go looking for her. And as the two women finally meet, the shocking truth becomes clear. They're from two different generations.
My name is Salvor Hardin. I'm your daughter.
Threaten the peace and pay a dear price.
So I'm sure that brings back a lot of memories for you. Season 1 was amazing. The things that it did in the Foundation that have not been done on TV before were linking stories through hundreds of years of time with the same actors, because they could be cryogenically frozen and then they come back out on the other side. And the idea of a mother and daughter meeting 100 years apart, phenomenal. The cloning of the empires being done and brought back with their memory maybe adjusted was all very incredible, first on TV. So they really introduced a new kind of TV show. It was a new concept, very new, very unique. We love Apple Plus because they do different concepts. They do unique. They do different. So let's go ahead and watch the season 2 trailer, which will just kind of reminds us of everything that happened on season 2.
The Foundation is a threat to me.
Close your eyes. Listen to my words. And dream. I want to tell you something. A long time ago, a man showed me how to predict the future. Our foundation to save humanity was born.
In my empire, there's a natural order. The Foundation is a threat to me.
We will destroy them all.
If there's war, we shall win.
Gail Dornick, you've got a very special mind. People would follow you. Lead them.
We will be ready to fight Empire together.
I have faith in Foundation.
Your foundation is a cult.
The Foundation can survive this crisis. But it requires belief.
So season 2 was, of course, great. We saw some new characters that we liked, and some of them died at the end. But we also saw a face-to-face with Brother Day and our prophet. But we saw so much other things that were really incredible. They really did stretch things, the Mentalics, as they're called, and introduce a character that we think is good, and then she ends up being evil. Of course, everything progresses toward the final conflict where the entire fleet is destroyed, and so that's incredible. Really, season 2 was amazing and entered just some really neat space. So I want to show now the season 3 trailer so that we can know what's coming up, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about all the gossip that we found on the internet, and I can share some of what I know about what is going to be in season 3. But first, let's watch the season 3 trailer.
Centuries ago, when it predicted the fall of the galaxy, the Foundation was created to save humanity. But the coming darkness was always the turning point.
The mule is here. We're out of time.
You think I'm a monster? I have talents, you see. I can worm my way into people's minds. Convert enemies into allies. Hate into love.
I've never known such love.
Nothing hectic. Just a little nudge.
Darkness is coming. Maybe just for us, maybe for everything.
The mule is your battle, Gale. That's my job to ensure you're prepared.
Camille's abilities are far beyond anything I can do. Her future was foretold.
Harry wanted you to have a better life than this.
We need Empire and Foundation to beat them all. We act together, or we lose.
Everything is going to end. She is the only one who can stop it.
Tell me, was this part of your plan?
This is where everything is headed.
Phenomenal. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming up from season 3, as we can tell. I want to go through everything that we know so far. So it comes out season 3, July 11th, 2025. As you can tell, the powerful warlord known as the Mule is the villain, the antagonist for this season. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening in the future is worth fighting for, is what the big trailer says. So there seems to be kind of a setup between the Foundation and the Empire having to unite somehow. It seems to be a good implication of that against the Mule. So that's very interesting. In fact, by the end of season 2, the Empire was in chaos. So this kind of makes sense, right? Demerzel was left to decant a fresh batch of clone emperors to keep the dynasty going, maintaining the status quo by any means. The Empire's throne room has a serious vacancy problem heading into season 3. Meanwhile, at the Foundation, the colony of exiles are following Harry Seldon's plan, has firmly established itself on the Outer Rim. However, we find these two powers in season 3, Foundation and Empire, kind of forced into this uneasy alliance to confront the greater threat, right? So, centuries old adversaries teaming up. It's very unprecedented. So the Mule is this new big bad enemy, and you'll be seeing a lot of the Mule. So most of the season takes place in the future time frame to accommodate the Mule's storyline. This warlord's unique ability to bend minds to his will makes him a galaxy-wide threat. The voice of Harry Seldon ominously frames it. It's anyone's guess who will win, who will lose, who will live, who will die. So it's the stakes have been raised for season 3. Season 3 plot will draw heavily from Asimov's iconic Mule storyline and likely elements from the second Foundation, adapting the source material's most pivotal war for television. The Foundation is now strong but vulnerable. The Empire is brittle and desperate, and the Mule's rise threatens both. Speaking of unlikely alliances, by the season 2 finale, even Harry Seldon's plan had to adapt. In that finale, Gail Dornick had visions of a bleak future under the Mule's domination, including the death of her daughter, Salvor Hardin, at the Mule's hands. So she sacrificed herself to save Gail and prove that the future isn't set in stone. It was a heartbreaking exit for sure. By the start of season 3, Gail is awakening 150 plus years later, hopefully well rested, and to fulfill that mission that Harry Seldon placed for her. And hopefully, she's prepared for the job. The stage is definitely set for a Galactus showdown in season 3. So let's talk about the returning and new cast members. So returning cast members are all back. Jared Harris as Harry Seldon, Lee Pace as Brother Clay, Lou Lobel as Gail Dornick, Lara Byrne as Demerzel, Cassian Bilton as Brother Dawn, Terrence Mann as Brother Dusk, and Rowena King as Dr. Kale. Now, new characters and cast members. Pilu Asbeck is the Mule. Alexander Siddig is Dr. Elbling Miss. Interesting for my Trekkies, known from Star Trek DS9. It plays a self-taught psychohistorian. And then Troy Kotzer is Chief Prim Palver. So this is an Academy Award winner. Troy Kotzer joins Palver, described as the leader of a planet of psychics. So very interesting. Cherry Jones is Foundation Ambassador Quint. We don't know what Quint's first name yet, but as ambassador, she's likely involved in forging the tenuous truce with Empire and rallying support against the Mule. We have Sinove Carlson as Baita Mallow. Carlson plays Baita, a character named straight from Asimov's Mule storyline. So very interesting there. We'll keep an eye out on her bravery and quick thinking. Cody Fern and as Torin Mallow. Fern, known for American Horror Story, appears as Torin, presumably a relative or partner to Baita. So the shared surname is notable there. Brandon P. Bell is Han Pritcher. So Bell plays Han Pritcher, likely a military man. In the books, Han Pritcher was an Imperial officer who defected to the Foundation, only to fall under the Mule's psychic influence. So we'll see if the show follows that arc or not. Tomas Lemarquis as Magnifico. Lemarquis portrays the colorfully named Magnifico, who in Asimov's story is a clownish performer that the Foundation encounters and who has a mysterious connection to the Mule. So again, we don't know if the show's going to follow the book or not. So it'll be an interesting thing to watch. Yutha Wong Lo Sing as Song. Little is known about Song so far, but the name might be a code name or call sign. So perhaps another psychic or operative. We'll see. Leo Bill as Mayor Inber. Bill joins as Inber, who presumably is a mayor of Terminus. Possibly. In the books, Mayor Inber is an ineffectual leader of the Foundation around the Mule's time. So we think that will probably be what's going on. A lot of new characters, a lot of new locations. What we do know is that the Mule is the dangerous villain. We know that there's the Foundation and the Empire Alliance. We know there's high stakes drama. Of course, we catch sight of Gail Dornick awakening from cryo sleep in the trailer. We see flashes of the Mentalics, so we know that that's a big part. There's character moments that we see in the trailer. Harry Seldon's voice guiding Gail. The Mule is your battle, Gail. It's my job to ensure you're prepared, he says. So we know that's there. The epic scale, season 3 looks visually spectacular. The trailer shows off diverse locales, from the gleaming spires of Trantor to what looks like a war-torn wasteland planet under the Mule's control. The production design and VFX budget seem intact, to say the least. Of course, Skydance is known for that. There's even a shot of a massive space battle near the planet's atmosphere, reminiscent of classic Star Wars or Dune visuals. It's really incredible. I think that we're in for some visuals that will be very stunning. In addition to the trailers, the official promos and promo images have been released. And of course, it's visually stunning, no doubt there. We've also learned some from the showrunner production notes. I've got some interesting stuff here for you. So the series is executive produced by David S. Goyer. And Goyer has been the driving creative force, and he has famously conceived an 8-season plan for Foundation from the start. Will they make all 8 seasons? We don't know. We hope and pray that Apple TV does make all 8 seasons. But this is, a season by season game that they play here. So there is, from the start, he's been trying to tell a sweeping story covering much of Asimov's timeline. Adapting a series once deemed unfilmable, but he's done it. And so the whole concept of the Cleon clones and Demerzel's expanded role are inventions that paid off in giving the show a strong through line across centuries. Goyer has hinted that his roadmap is flexible but intact. So we'll see how that happens. He did say Goyer encourages attentive fans to rewatch earlier episodes for clues. Even in season 1, this is his quote, even in season 1, there are little hints that will point to some cards we're going to turn over in season 3. So I recently did that. I watched season 1 and season 2 again so that I am fully ready for season 3. I will say this, that it's worth noting that despite the little hiccups they had in production, they did have some. The series has been one of Apple TV's prestige genre offerings. It's worked along with Invasion, Severance. They've done some great stuff. And on the lighter note, the cast and creators have shared excitement for the new season. In interviews, Lee Pace has often amused fans by treating every iteration of Brother Day as a distinct and increasingly unhinged character. He really has come a long way. I it's the current Brother Day was a disaster, and of course he died as he should have. And we all cheered at that point. I think it was a great finale of season 2. One of the times that we all cheer the death of a villain. So, we're looking forward to season 3. There is the one thing that we have learned is that there is this fan chatter is the fate of Empire's lineage. So we learn at the end of season 2 that Queen Sereth is pregnant with Brother Don's child. So we're all wondering, right? The meaning there's an heir to the Empire, but without the clone DNA. So that's a powder keg for the future. I didn't see anything in the trailer that gives what's going to happen there, and I'm very curious. One theory is that a civil war could erupt between the traditional Cleon clones and a rival line descended from Don and Sereth. I would love that. Of course, I'll be cheering for not the clones. I want whatever group is with Don and Sarah. But the show hasn't confirmed this. It's if there's going to be a civil war. Given that season 3 will only cover part of the intended saga, the writers might leave hints about this in dialogues, and maybe it's for a later season. We don't really know. But attentive viewers, keep your eye open for that. The season 3's impact, of course, and how well it does will indicate whether or not there's going to be a season 4. I hope that there is. But it's yet to be seen. In summary, let me tell you, the table is set for Foundation season 3 to be a major highlight of the sci-fi TV calendar. It has a confirmed release date of July 11th, 2025. A compelling storyline merging one of the genre's most infamous villains with the show's unique flair. Beloved cast members returning and exciting new actors joining, trailers that promise spectacle and intrigue, and a passionate fan base, plus improved critical reception fueling the anticipation. If Harry Seldon's psycho history could predict anything, it might be that season 3 will be a make or break Seldon crisis for the series legacy. I am hoping it's a big hit, so please tune in, watch season 3, and as always, subscribe to my Nerdcast. And for the love of God, stay nerdy.